on a Squirrel Brand offer. This is your chance to get the Squirrel Brand's 2 jars of their sweet butter cashews. And when I tell you, when you bite into the silkiness and the delicious crunch of that cashew that is wrapped in sweet brown butter, your chin is going to drop. This comes to us from the one and only Squirrel Brand. Since 1888, they have been creating the most delicious roasted and roast recipes of nuts. And this is one, again, that always is popular. It's at a one-time only price, so that means it will not be offered at a lower price for some months. So now is the time to go ahead and pick it up. You get 2 of the 14-ounce jars for $34.98. Jackie Grant is here with us to talk about these delicious nuts. This is one of Leah Williams, one of our program hosts' favorites. She loves the cashews.
Such a favorite of so many 5-star reviews on QVC.com. A beloved and best-selling recipe of ours. I always say, if you have not tried Squirrel Brand and you're unfamiliar with our brand, this is a great way to get to know us. So what we have here is we've got our creamy cashews that are jumbo and huge in size. And then we're coating them in a luxurious brown butter and finishing off with a caramelized sugar. But that caramelized sugar, it's not gonna crystallize on your teeth. It's not going to be sticky.
No, it's not like a caramel.
Right.
It's
just a caramelized sugar.
Caramelized sugar.
Yes, and it kind of makes it like really nice and that little crunch. So yeah, so we've got that dry roasted cashews. So we're doing the cashews with a dry roast, no oils, no waters, nothing like that. Just that beautiful meaty texture and mouthfeel of the cashew, and then coating it with that brown butter. Now there's butter and then there's brown butter, and they're way different things. When you brown butter in a pan, it's going to go from like a yellow color to almost like a darker amber color, and it has a very intoxicating aroma. It becomes naturally sweeter and almost creamy, and then we're going to dunk our cashews in that brown butter, that beautiful like liquid gold, and then we finish it with the caramelized sugar, and it's just the most beautiful bite.
The cool thing about this is they also make wonderful toppings, so you can eat them whole and enjoy them as little snacks, and I love to do it with that. I love to do it that way. You can also crunch them up and put them on top of your ice cream, in your yogurt.
That's right.
Use them on salads to add a little sweet nuttiness. And also, think about this on charcuterie. So when you've got a lot of heavy fats and meats on a charcuterie board, I think adding that little sweet element and that crunch texture,
it's such a great balance.
Is always a nice balance.
Yes,
and most of the time, if you look at the boards like the professionals do on some of the websites, they always have some kind of, delicious sweet or nut.
I always put a nut on any charcuterie board that I do, or cheese board, regardless of the season. And these are very seasonless.
Look how big these are,
Yeah,
too.
they are giant. Here's why I love to stock up on these is that when your Squirrel Brand comes, it's going to look like this. It's going to have a freshness seal here. It looks a lot like a coffee can. If you can keep that seal intact, your product is going to be good for 1 year from the pack date. And we're going to give you the pack date on the bottom. Well, you won't, but I love being able to just kind of, if I'm going out, it's graduation party season. So if I've got a grad party or my daughter has a grad party to go to, barbecues, get-togethers, things like that. There are all these things that are happening this time of year. It's nice to be able to stock up and be able to grab something out of the pantry that you know is going to be fresh and delicious, and taking it with you as a gift.
Tastes great with a glass of wine.
Oh yeah.
Red or white, whichever your preference is. And once again, at this price, which goes up at 7 p.m., $34.98, you're getting a jar for about, what, $17? It's a wonderful gift idea, but it's also something that's nice to have in the pantry. And we're hitting that end of the school year time when kids are going to be looking into the pantry. I remember when my kids were in school, they would get done, school, and every single day I would come downstairs and one of them would be standing in front of the refrigerator with the doors open, or standing in front of the pantry looking for something to snack on.
Yep, here's
this,
what it,
could be the snack. Or maybe this is your grown-up snack, so you hide this in a separate pantry
also
so
very
that the
smart.
Kids can't get to it.
Also very smart.
Again, you get 2 cans for $34.98. That price, though, goes up at the end of our is it 7 hours today? 7 hours of
my
gourmet
goodness.
holiday.
That's a good day. That's a lot of food.
Yeah, it's a lot of food.
Yeah, so I mean, we love this. This is, again, one of our best-selling and most beloved recipes. If you don't know our history, we are the oldest registered nut brand in the U.S. We've been around since 1888, and back then, before we had all these delicious, like, awesome recipes, our founder was delivering nuts in a horse and buggy, was just the quality of the nuts.
Right.
Our nuts are grown in areas of the world where there's very little winters, lots and lots of sunlight.
It's just like gemstones. When you want tanzanite, there's only one place you can get it, and that is
Exactly.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the nuts. They're
Yes.
grown in the places that you get the best quality.
nuts, right? So you've got this amazing sourcing, and we've still stayed true to that. And then you've got the processing. We are still sticking to our roots from back in 1888. We roast all of our nuts in small batches, kettle roasted, dry roasted, which means there's no oils and no waters in the process. So what you come out with is just a jumbo, meaty, creamy, delicious cashew. Then, just to make it even better, we're gonna dunk it in that luxurious brown butter and finish it with a layer of caramelized sugar that we really crank up the heat on to make sure it gives you that nice crispy bite, but no stickiness.
Well, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. And if you love salty, sweet combos,
yes, love
that's
those.
what you get with every bite. So you get the snap on the inside when you crunch into that delicious creamy cashew. But then you get a little bit of the sweetness on the outside as well. So a very harmonious experience.
It's very,
eating.
yes, it's
Crunch,
delicious.
which is satiating. Sweetness, which makes you want a little bit more. And the silky nuttiness of the cashew. All of it in one bite. You get 2 cans at a one-time only price. It will not be offered for at least 3 months at a lower price. So now's the time to stock up. And there is no auto delivery in this. I always like to point that out just so people that, do get the auto deliveries know. This one doesn't come with that as an option.
Right.
So
you gift a can and you keep a can, or you keep a can for yourself and you share with friends and family when they come over. There's never a bad occasion for it. Like you said, I love to run a knife through some of these cashews at dessert time and put them over, just crumble them over some vanilla ice cream. Maybe mix them with your morning yogurt and berries. Delicious, delicious. I know people who have put these nuts into a food processor and made a cashew butter to spread onto breads and toast.
Interesting.
Absolutely delicious. That's kind of like a mind-blowing thing.
however you decide to enjoy them is up to you. But honestly, you're going to enjoy truly fresh, delicious flavors. Again, with the freshness seal intact, you'll have a year before you have to enjoy these. So take advantage of that as well, and know that you're getting just such great quality when it comes to anything that has that name Squirrel Brand on it.
Yes.
So it's 2 cans. Each one of them is about 14 ounces, and inside is that perfect cashew with that brown butter flavor wrapped around it. Every bite and morsel and crunch is going to be a delight, however you decide to enjoy them. I put them in a little bowl, put a spoon in the bowl, and that way everybody knows they can help themselves. This would also be something if you wanted to fill those little cups, the little shot cups. What are they, like for making Jell-O shooters? Have those pre-filled.
Love that
And then
idea.
it's like the
So
perfect
nice.
proportion that you can take with you to lunch, or you can put out with the other desserts and let everybody grab and go as they're enjoying.
I'll tell you what, when we put, and I have so many different Squirrel Brand recipes in the house. We just love squirrel. But when we have guests over and we put these brown butter cashews out, like this is the first one to
They
go.
evaporate,
Yes, people are like, what are those nuts? I've had friends call and be like, are you gonna put those nuts out again? And I know exactly what they're talking about, because these are just everyone loves the sweet brown butter cashews. I've never met anyone who's like, oh, that's not for me. It's really just one of those recipes, and it's why it's so beloved, and it's why it has so many 5-star reviews on QVC.com.
Do you love?
I mean, I had to come over. Cashews
You
are my
have to.
favorite.
Are they your
Yes.
favorite too?
And I had to
You
walk
and Leah,
over,
Leah's
and,
favorite
and I
that
love
too.
sweet too.
okay.
And cashews are very difficult. So the reason they're usually more expensive. Did you talk about this? Like they're so hard to crack the shell, and so
It's a hard nut to
Cashews,
crack.
it is a hard nut to
Tough nut to
crack. But it is good once you do. And then the sweetness on top, so you get like the salty, the sweet, the crisp.
Yes,
And
love
you
it. And it's
mentioned
not overly sweet, like we said.
No,
it's,
it's not.
it's a perfect bite. It's really, the recipe has been perfected over time, and that is why it's so beloved. It's really it's just the best bite. You were saying something?
So
I
sophisticated.
interrupted you.
No, it's okay. I needed to have my bite. Thank you. No, but you were saying how people will call and ask, are you going to have
Are you
those?
gonna
Yeah.
have those? Yes.
I think they are nice to have on hand as gifts, because I don't have the gift closet that everybody talks about at QVC. When I got here, I was like, a gift closet? What's that?
Gift closet?
I don't. I mean, I do understand the concept. Like when things are on a great sale
Right.
or you're getting multiples, put them away and have them ready to go. These, although I usually end up eating them before I gift them.
Well,
But I
that's
will
tough.
say,
It is a
the
risk.
thing I love about Squirrel
Yeah.
Brand is, especially on a one-time only price, get a couple sets, have them ready to go. They last for what, a year unopened?
A year from the pack date,
And
yes.
they make such
And just keep
nice
them safe.
gifts.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
so too. You know, it's like I will
Well, if
bring
you-
a bottle of wine if I have nothing else, but I think that it's such a memorable gift instead of the bottle of wine, because your hostess is going to remember the food gift before she remembers who brought
If you
the wine.
don't have a gift closet, you need to work on it.
I
You
know,
can
I do
start
need to work on it. I
small
mean,
with
I-
a gift basket, with just, you know,
Start
a
small.
place where you put
Start
a couple
small
of
with
things.
some Squirrel Brand.
I do
Or
have
put
that,
them
I
in
guess.
put them in a notebook on your phone, so at least
That
you
is
remember
a great idea, what we have.
what you have
Yes.
and what you can get. So
Good point.
this is M135237.
So
You get 2 of the 14-ounce cans of the sweet butter cashews from Squirrel Brand. Continue in the process of placing your order. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having
All
Jackie.
right,
me.
so let's talk really quickly about the top that